turn my washing machine off before we start. Bear with me 5 minutes and I'll be back. Lord, it always happens this way. It's like I sat down, I'm like, right, we're ready to go. And then I heard the machine. This machine hates my guts. Every time I do towels, it does this to me. We don't get along at all, you know, and I had a very busy morning. I did a bit of a live last night, which some of the members were privy to watching me put my henna in, which was, you know, fun. We had a bit of a gossip. Thanks, Giggle. So been quite an eventful morning. Been some dramas going on with my daughter. With her pregnancy, she's having some issues. So I've been jumping back and forward between situations. Managed to get my woman duties done. I call them woman duties. My nurture duties, you know. No makeup today. You know, the regimen of Divine Feminine. It's like, okay, we need to do the preening. We need to do, I got my nails done, which is quite funny because these actually look a bit of a chocolate brown, but when you get closer, they're actually purple. This lady was like, oh, I like that color. And I was like, yeah, something different. And then she proceeded to start saying to me, do you find round or square are better than round? Because we deem these as coffin shape. I mean, they're not my style coffin shape. Sharp edge. Anywho, so what do we see coming through? I did my hair, yeah. I've got to do facial next. Got an appointment with Twin tomorrow. Getting some procedures done. It's all on like Donkey Kong. I tell you, it's really strange. And I've noticed this over the years. As Mercury goes direct, it's like it hasn't gone direct. And it's all the things that are very Mercury in nature start coming. I do have a webinar that's up on the website, which is supposed to be open the 22nd, I believe. Don't quote me. And it is for I was going to do it with Yarn, but time did not permit. But I might do a bit of an interview with her if she's free. And it is to do with each of the elements and some of my tips. And I noticed in the video there was one bit missing, so I've got to go back and edit. As usual, typical Mercury retrograde crap. But one of the tips in it actually does recommend, because it is technically it's a masculine year, theoretically. Even though, yeah, even from a Western astrology point of view, this is a masculine energy, which is more, what can we do? It's the hunter-gatherer. It's the, you know, get up and get things done, especially because it's going to be first house collectively. It's what can we do within our power? It's to enhance and develop relationships, especially because it's a number 7. But at the same time, it's to be very mindful of karmic energy. You know, if you're putting up with BS, it's a bit more difficult. It's a little bit like a nodal return for the year of the water rabbit. So the individuals that are water rabbits, look at this. Just like my father, my hair, when I wash it, it retains water. You know, I'm like that chick that jumps in the swimming pool and gets out the other side and it's still dry. And then when it's wet, it just drips. So anyway, so it does have tips in it. I may go back and add a few more so that it's ready for the 22nd on the website. What do we see coming here? Another row. Using a different deck. These are my tried and true. These are the ones that I used to use. I actually don't need cards. I'm just going to be perfectly frank with you. I'm a psychic medium. I do additionally get additional messages, and so I can see the worst card in the tarot deck, for instance, or an oracle deck, and I know totally what it's in relationship to. The wood rabbit here. Yeah, so it can feel very, it's a little bit like a nodal return. So initially you'll find when, you know, Yarn explained this to me, it's generally, which I was like, oh God, I'm a fire dragon, and I was thinking, well, that'll be coming soon. And dragons are actually deemed to be quite lucky. It's auspicious, but at the same time, each of us in each cycle is going to experience something very different. I have thick hair because I use henna. I've always had thick hair, but the parabens inside of hair dyes did build up in my system, did cause poisoning. So I am adamant. I was actually admitting this to the members. I was adamant I was not going to use chemicals again, but I was going to do it 2 ways. While I was hospitalized and I had an IV drip in me for fluid, this is how arrogant I was. It was like, darn or not, I'm going to find a way. I'll do a Britney Spears and shave it, or we're going to find a way to naturally color the shit. And straight away I found henna. I did a lot of research on it. A couple of my members use henna, and I'll give them tips on how to make that process so much shorter. So I did a bit of a live in there yesterday so they could see how red it actually goes, which looks terrible as heck. And then you do the secondary stage, which is indigo. But it does actually make your hair very healthy. You don't get dandruff. You can't get nits. They don't like it. It's like a mask for your hair, so it's a win-win for me. What we got here? Okay, interesting energy with the divine masculines. The divine masculines at the moment, all of us collectively, it's a little bit like, you're being unwell, and then you get better, and you overuse your energy, and then you're like, wow, I've hit a wall. That is because Mars was retrograde. Mars has been sitting in Gemini from August last year. And so if you felt from August last year to now, you were up in your head, there were too many options, you had to do too many things. I mean, you think about it. If you were trying to achieve a target, getting sidetracked, for instance, that's Gemini. It's opinions. It's looking at TikToks. It's going down the rabbit hole when you've got some duties to do at home, or you've got a project. It becomes problematic. It went retrograde, which means on top of that, it's a little bit like a pressure test. You get to a point in your space, especially in the twin flame path, where the old codependent patterns can come up. So it can be control, it can be insecurities, especially with the passion energy in it, because it's the masculine, it's the anger, it's the lust, it's the envy and jealousy. So it can make you tired, number one, because it's your energy. So it's almost like overstimulation of the mind, where you can't go to sleep, but your body's absolutely exhausted. So, it made me really amused. And I really love the fact that we can look at transits, because the transits help us with our ascension process. So I knew that was going to pick up as it did go direct, but it's going to take a bit of time. So if you've been burning the candle at both ends, trying to do things, feeling emotional, very irritable, especially for Gemini, Virgo, you guys are Mercury in nature. I mean, everyone really collectively, but wherever those placements are in your chart, particularly Gemini, for instance, or Virgo, that area of your life is going to become very difficult. Now, it is direct, so it does mean now it's time to actually get things in order. But the problem is, until the end of the month, we could be very confused. So you could be second guessing yourself. You may be thinking, well, there's too many options. It'll naturally come to you. Just give it a little bit of time. And also understand that you could feel burnt out. So don't go to extremes, because we can get a little bit overzealous. Pace yourself with it. Make a plan of action. Even though a lot of the transits that are really big are happening in March, you will already feel them now. I'm telling you, I'm already seeing synchronicities. I am going to start coming to you guys either live or pre-recorded, and I'll give you my predictions per month. So if you want to come through and get those, they'll potentially be at the beginning of each month, and it'll give you a bit of an energy update and some of my predictions of what I see coming through. Let's see for the twin flame collective. So yeah, masculines tend to be energetically, like if you're moving into a trigger, you're like, I wonder if they're feeling this. No, you feel the energy first, because you're the empath, and they'll feel it 2 weeks later. So I had that candid chat with Twin the other day. We were having a chat with Giggle. And he goes, I'm not feeling that. And I says, well, your astrology as a masculine is retrograde. And I went, talk to me in 2 weeks. And sure enough, surest day, yeah, I was feeling pretty shitty. He was pretty tired. irritable. The transit started affecting him, but tried and true, 2 weeks in, and it was sure enough affecting the divine masculines. And that's with the masculines I coach as well. So we have now Jupiter direct in Aries. Don't know if Chiron's retrograde. I haven't checked. Good one, Yildiz. We also have Mars direct, and the big one, Uranus and Taurus, is going direct. And I'm dripping again. That one you do need to look out for. So although the astrology in February is really good, what you can find is it's not to say something terrible can happen, but Uranus and Taurus, maybe you might have a bit more thunderstorms. There can be things to do with money, values, Venus, resources. Now, it's not, like I said, it's not bad, but you can find instability during that time. And usually it's a few weeks before in the environment or in your own life and wherever you have Taurus in your chart. Plus the nodes are there, okay? So get ready from here. We're going to feel it all the way through to the first 1 to 2 weeks in, but generally it'll be a week, okay? As that goes direct, you're going to want to get things in order. This hair's driving me crazy. Hi all, I didn't get the notification again. That's because I did a few kind of members chats, and so you only get 3 in 24 hours. And so I went live last night, and the members in the top level, so they had a bit of a gossip with me and had my hair dye I was doing, and we were talking schmack in there, as we do as BFFs. Let's have a look. What's coming through? Oh, God. I do believe this. We've got, through the astrology cards, I pulled some clarifiers on what's happening. We do effectively at this point in the game feel we're tidying up. So did we move into 2023 feeling, especially in the twin flame path, it's almost like unfinished business. I swear it's unfinished business, potentially because Pluto actually is going to be transiting. So it's almost like the ending of cycles, especially relating to maybe a karmic cycle, a relationship, a marriage they had or have. Is it conducive? Is it working? And especially with moon, because it can be mother energy, right? So what I see here at the moment is, number one, there is unfinished business in this twin flame path, right? Luke, you should see the past tense position card, the bloody hermit card. It's about right, but it's not unhealthy. Mars in Gemini, in a feminine's chart, for instance, if you know where your Mars is, it's what you're going to seek inside another person, but it's actually what you need to fix inside yourself. So it can show a bit of a codependent pattern. Because Mars was in Gemini, we can be a bit needy, okay? We can be a bit insecure. We could be embodying a lot of divine masculine energy right now as well, which can mean we're a bit detached, don't bother me, don't mess with me, can't be bothered. So it depends on how you are in the ebbs and flows handling your feminine masculine frequency, okay? This hermit is going to the past, which is a positive thing. But, the nines is very spiritual. The nines is very almost like, it's very protected. So while you're unpacking things, you have been very protected. I feel in the twin flame path, don't feel insecure if you don't hear from them right away. Although this is going to the past tense position, because I feel I'm hearing, what's the song? The song they're showing me. Give me a moment. It's the one that I was talking about the other day, Giggle, and it was Pink sung it. What's his? Adam Lambert. He sung the song as well. And it's really discussing the fact that the person's trying to work something out. They have complete, pure intentions towards you. So they're kind of like trying to unpack it, but they have pure intentions. Just don't take it personal. That's kind of the way this song is really coming through to me psychically. So the nines is very protected. It's almost meditating upon the best. What do you want from me? There it is. So that's the song, Adam Lambert. It actually originally was written by Pink, I believe. So I think the rights or something he was given, and absolutely love Adam Lambert, I think, and Pink as well. So that's the song that's going to have synchronistic meaning for you. Go and have a look at it, and you're going to unpack some of that. And that's in reference to the past. It's like, basically they're saying, look, I might be a little bit irritable. It's actually not personal. There's something I'm personally going through, which does make sense because Jupiter really in the divine masculine's energy astrologically, is really talking about the fact that they have gone from the house of imprisonment to the house of saying, hey, what do I actually want? How do I feel? And that's really important in a twin flame path, because that's the union with self. We can't actually be with somebody if we don't love ourselves and if we don't choose for ourselves. So a lot of times, especially coming off this astrology over the last few months and on the last 2 years, for divine masculine, it was almost like, predominantly hermit mode, right? It was like no movement or movement and very choppy, changeable. Those that are in union, we've been going through changes too. And I see that this spiritual energy is still there between you, but they're wanting it on the 3D. And that's why moving to the first house is really fantastic. It means they're suddenly going to stick up for themselves. They're not going to be putting up with rubbish, and none of us will be. Initially, it can come through a little bit selfishly, but we're probably going to see that mid-year. At this point in time, I feel that they're coming out of that hermit mode, but also it's almost like you could be saying to yourself, why am I hiding? Why am I hiding my light? What is my purpose? Those are the big question marks that all of us collectively have been having. And that can create some nervousness. It can almost make you feel as though you failed on the path, or because the disillusionment usually comes prior to union. It's almost like it's never going to happen. It's just not meant to be, because it's the sense of acceptance of where something stands. And acceptance doesn't mean that we like it. It means we have acknowledged where something stands at this point in time. And so at times there can be a little bit of hurt involved, and then we can detach and then say, hey, I'm coming out of hermit mode. I'm reconnecting to society. I'm making some personal plans for myself, and then they turn up. Don't you love that? Don't you just bloody love it? Any tips for leaky hair? I knew it. I should have just left the towel on and come live. I did talk about doing a live in the swimming pool. Great ratings. Okay. I'm telling you, karmic families, karmic related dynamics. This can be anything down to, at this point in time in the joint connection, that there could be family related dynamics going on, but this also can be your conditioning. This can be anywhere to a karmic family member passing. It can be having to move home. Really looking at your conditioning of what your family, oozing sexy, you dag. Thanks, Big Casino. Don't feel that fly, but thanks, eh? The bun keeps my hair, but no, even if I had it down, I'd be doing the same thing. Trust me. If I say anything more, it's just going to be really foul, and we're just going to be really polite. So the 10 of Earth is about a happy family, okay? It's finances, security. Now, I'm going to pull a clarifier, because I guarantee this is due to the fact you could be observing your twin. If they are in a karmic relationship, for instance, you're looking at it going, if you're not happy, why the hell are you there? You also may, in your shadow sense, might have been looking at previous connections you were in as well, and kind of comparing notes, looking at it and going, well, I dealt with it differently and I know better now. But, the less you kind of push the point with them, the quicker they actually exit. I'm being honest with you. It's almost like we'll sit in the witch's cauldron then. Listen and then give the power back to them, like you're handing the baton back. It's like, well, what do you want to do with that? How does that make you feel? And so then it's almost like they have to do nothing but sit in it and go, well, is this my destiny? And I do feel that this is a huge reality check. A lot of us can be looking at our future, retirement, where we want to be, what our goals and hopes are. And I do feel divine masculine's doing this too. So those question marks, it's like, it's funny that it went from the Hermit card in the past to, we've been unpacking those things, looking at our conditioning, our beliefs inside of relationships. The first waivers are there to break down the paradigms of traditional relationships. And I really believe over the last 20 years, because Pluto was there, it was so traditional. It was very difficult, especially for the first waivers. It was like, no, I shouldn't do this. It's impolite. It's not right. Society, kind of looks down upon it. So now it's almost like, okay, guess what? We've only got 2 months and it's moving into Aquarius for a bit. So that's why it's coming through in the collective right now. So if you go and listen to other readings, you may be seeing those kind of updates coming through. It's like there's a reality that that both parties are coming to, is that maybe we did the white picket fence, maybe we already had the kids, whatever that is. it's something is being shown to us that isn't matching our kind of storyline of what we see. We're trying to trust the process, but we know something's up. We know something's not fitting. Let's pull a clarifier. Yeah, like, and doing things to make everyone happy. It's like, because it could be that we have been saying, and I remember somebody had said to me years ago, and it was like, and I kept saying, I don't have time. I don't have time. Saturn relates to time. It's so interesting for Libra at the moment. It's like, you do have time, manage it better. And that was what I had to say to myself. And that started 3 years ago. It was like, no, what is your priority? We'll always invest in what our priority is. And I feel at the moment, it could be that we are giving to others a little bit too much and feeling the cup is dry, and we need to reinvest back in ourselves. And I think it's actually happening on both sides of the fence. I also feel, sometimes in our path, it's almost like I feel divine masculine is almost looking like I was trying to make everyone happy, but you can't. There's just no way that we can physically make everybody on the planet happy. And this is coming up in their lives. It's like they don't want to let you down. They don't want to let your family down. They don't want to let their family down. And they're like, but what about me? Like, and that's when you get your truth. It's like, oh, but I want that over there. I want my divine feminine. And that just makes everything so much clearer. So they already know there's a problem. They're already getting over it. And I do feel divine feminine also is looking at this and going, well, okay, at a point maybe where you stood, you saw yourself there for a while. And at this point, you're saying, you've got the question mark. You're like, no, I know in life there's so much more. There's so much more than what I have right now. And I know that I can actually move forward and have so much more. So both of you are questioning this element at this point in your lives. Okay, some of you are freaking out. It's like, have I learned my lesson? Have I learned? We've got the 8 of Earth in reverse. Have I learned my lesson? This could be anything to do with upskilling, education, but I feel more in a spiritual context of the twin flame path. I feel it's more you kind of freaking out saying, have I learned these karmic lessons? It's not that you haven't. Don't ever think when you're not having movement. It's actually a compliment, okay? So if it goes really quiet for a minute, don't freak out, because what you want is the whole kitty. It's a little bit like Christmas and New Year's always triggers us. What you have to say to yourself is, I don't want just one bloody day, because that's what we used to get, is one day. And that masculines, you guys went through the same thing. It's almost playing for keeps. So it's like, if I'm going to have it, I want the whole cake. I don't want the crumbs. I want the whole cake. So if some of you have been saying, hey, the status quo where it stands is okay, you'll know when it's not, because you start to get triggered more regularly, because it's saying to you, you're not accepting the status quo of what you want. You're saying, I have to continue this vibration in order to maintain it. And that's actually not true. And that's not part of twin flame path. You'll inevitably move forward, because that's what we're supposed to do in our ascension process. So those of you maybe that are dealing with a twin, maybe having communication, you could deep down feel that, can you have an opinion? Can you say something? Are you allowed to? It's not an expectation. It's, this is what I need. I think I explained to the members the other day, when you get to that point in your twin flame path, it's not, oh gosh, what if they reject me? It's, oh gosh, if I keep doing whatever this situation is right now, I think it's going to fail. I just can't do it anymore. So, and that can be various things. It can be holding a karmic situation up. It could be feeling you don't want to let them down if you have an opinion. My sister says it now today, and she's known we've been on the path for over 25 years. She thinks ours is the most healthy relationship she has ever seen, because we're able to stir each other, call each other out. If there's an issue, it's never swept under the carpet. It's just addressed right away. I mean, Giggle, you can probably vouch for this, and so can you, True Heart. We're quite comical in that way, but we never used to be. And so we had to rebuild that. But I feel there's some conversation that needs to be had here for some of you. For some of you, I think you're highly ascended, and you're dealing with it in a tactical approach, because you know that something is evolving, and you're sort of like, well, if you're coming, you're coming. If you're not, you're not. Okay? But don't question your ascension. Like sometimes we can go a little bit backwards, but generally you'll pass those steps again very quickly. So it means, yes, you have. It's just a 101 kind of, it's a little bit like going to university and then going back out there and having assimilation. So I do feel there's tests that are being passed. Some of you are worried that maybe divine masculine hasn't leveled up and they haven't learnt, or they're not doing the work. And trust me, you're always doing the work. Okay. Ooh. 5 of air. Some of you are really casing people. Well, they're not. Look, a test isn't. Look, I'll give you an example. If you're having a trigger, if you're relating to it differently, that's passing a test. So that's not a bad test. That's, oh, wow, I handled that so much better. It's not a test. You know, the status quo of where you stand is accepting where they are and where you are and what you want and what you would need to do to move your life forward. Like I said, you can't, it's not, twin flame path is not technically a choice. I think sometimes there can be people that feel, okay, well, you know, moving forward means the twin flame path is over. It's not over. You're a twin flame. You incarnated in this lifetime to learn things together, to grow, to heal, so you can be a whole person. Then you'll find any relationship you choose will be healthy. Any. You can choose your twin, or you will be able to choose another person. That will be, but you will be at peace. No triggers, no ascension, none of that shit. Okay. Until that happens, you're ascending. Okay. You will look at the, you know, they could do some BS and you'd look at them and go, that's really interesting that you're doing that. You're so detached because you're ascending. Okay. Okay. So there's something to do with this. Some of us could be stuck. Some of us are reviewing, but most of you, you're probably looking at it going, you're a bit more detached. Now, it's almost like if it keeps coming up, there's something that you're reviewing, especially if you're actually noticing transition and change. I really feel there's something that you're learning through this. And if you ever noticed, it's almost like when all the attention is one side, it swings it out of balance and divine masculine moves away. But when you shift your attention onto you, they come back in again. So what's the key? Staying in alignment by focusing on your side of the path. And anytime I would get to a point I would have too much attention on them because somehow it would affect me, it would go off kilter again. So I learned very quickly how to do that. And that was in the last 4 years. Okay, so there's something here. You could actually be saying, okay, there's a bit of a pattern here in my life. What is this pattern? What is it showing me? Because this pattern is trying to show me something, but I'm not. Sometimes it's listening. And it is to do with the changes that you've gone through. You're going to understand why these changes are so key for your future and why they're going to help you is because we will be anchoring the energy in this year for the collective. Okay, the commitment. Like, you know, some of you would think, okay, this is really funny because I've been here myself. If I've gone through this hard work, am I going to get my candy? Am I going to get my candy? We do get candy. Okay, we are going to get candy. But it's like we're not doing it for the candy. We're doing it so we are a whole being. So that you can see patterns where it didn't just affect you in your twin flame path. It affected you with jobs. It affected you with your family. It affected you with making decisions and healthy boundaries and feeling that through adversity you couldn't rise again. That's why those challenges were there to show you it is all not true. Okay. And that the commitment, some of you also are going through a stage where you're saying, if I love them, am I being stupid if they don't love me? Are you meaning their opinion is higher than yours? Can you not have a feeling and own your feeling? Okay, own your feeling of how you feel. It's relevant. Your soul will get very angry at you if you keep going back and forward with it and you're not saying, look, I don't know how to feel. When they're ready to tell me, they can tell me. But guess what? I know what I feel. I've got a clear head. We can't expect them to have a clear head. Your joint energy, unless you can have a solid clear head and say, I know how I feel and that's okay. No apologies. That's how I feel today. And you could feel different tomorrow. You could hate their guts. But if you each day check in with your energy and say, I will acknowledge that this is how I feel. I don't care about the opinions of others. I know how I feel and I am settled with how I feel. I'm having a healthy relationship with myself. Okay, both of you do have the same goals in mind, okay? You want happiness, you want bliss, you don't want dramas with people around you. The individual within the twin flame path that is around that energy, it is the mirror back to you of where you used to be. It may be ever so frustrating, okay? Don't allow it to. Almost dissolve it, because what you can find is they can move through that process a lot quicker. You may be feeling both of you are on a different path right now. Try and trust the process, because I do feel both of you do have your individual hopes, dreams, and aspirations, because you can be a separate energy like a single person and be in the union and be joint. And that's sort of how you have to operate to have a successful union. I don't feel the other thing is what they're showing me is there's no competition to you. It's not a competition. Nobody is going to be able to fill your shoes. You are the twin. You are a unique soul that is there to bridge the gap in the healing and the growing. It's like a friendship and an arch enemy, and so it's all everything, poured into one. Hi, beautiful. But you know, there's no decision. By the indecision, you haven't been outruled. You can't be outruled. You can't outrule them. They can't outrule you, because you've got a soul contract. But I feel both parties here in the mix are a little bit wary. Okay. Wary, up in our heads. Do you love me? Is there somebody else? Have you made a decision? There's conflict here. I only feel the conflict is at a 3-day is due to maybe an entanglement within a tribe. Okay, so at a foundation level, having to meditate upon how to heal this, how to address this. What do we do to address this? Yeah, blast from the past. So it's like it's healing the old energy, but there's no new person coming in here. And I'm not saying there's not a new person. How do I mean? What the subject matter is that's coming through here today is very much that both parties here in the mix are very much thinking about each other. So it's like where you've been and divine masculine, or where you've been and divine feminine. I don't see a subject matter of another individual being something of a reference point at this point in time, only if we feel that this is a done deal, potentially. Okay, but what I'm saying, the energy, the way it's coming through, it's like, okay, well, where is this? Where is it going? How do I proceed forward? Yes, you did plant seeds. So a lot of you are wondering when this is coming through. It's almost like, I always call this the Omar Sharif. It's like, when is my knight in shining armor coming through? There is good news coming, but, it's almost like sometimes to let go of the shackles, because divine feminine a lot of times has been in warrior princess mode. You've been the masculine, right? We're so used to operating in that fashion of helping and enabling and looking at people and their victims and projected towards us, that we're so used to that behavior pattern that it's almost in our minds as counterproductive to go back into feminine mode. That if we do, maybe it's like the Virgoian energy. Maybe the quality assurance won't be so great. Maybe they won't be able to understand the map. You can actually use your vocals to express what your needs would be. And so that could be, well, the way I see my life would be regular telephone calls, going slow, going into the relationship, open communication, building trust. That's a map then. And that's your statement piece of what you want. The other thing that my guides were showing me the other day is there can be a lot of dropping of the ego of if you're wanting to make a phone call or a statement and you felt something was unsaid, it's okay to message. It's okay to message that, but don't put it in a rhetorical form where you're expecting a response. You are freeing your soul by articulating what you need to say, and you're letting go. And then you've got that off your chest, and it feels like that subject, that old cycle is closed out, where you then have felt that you could voice what you needed to say. And what they do with that is up to them. Look, I do see divine masculine moving forward. They do have goals. Some of you could be thinking, oh my gosh, if they're having goals, that means they've forgotten me. No, you want them to have a goal. You want them to have hopes, dreams, aspirations, because when they're fulfilled, they can give you so much more. They're a whole soul then. Okay, some of you were saying, look, unless they do something, I just don't trust them. And I'm telling you, it's like we have to let go of that masculine energy inside the connection, divine feminines, just for a minute, just for about 1 to 2 weeks, to allow them to go, hey, you know, you're the boss of your own life. Are you going to do something? If you're not going to do something, that's on you. That's not on me. Because I feel to a degree, it's almost like in our heart space, we're embodying divine masculine because we feel they can't do it. And we manifest that, right? So, and that's because of our experience. Past. We're not in the past anymore. We're here. So from to date, if you have felt you can lead a horse to water, you can't make it drink, right? Try something different. We talked about this yesterday. Try something different that you haven't done. Less is more. And trust me, as soon as you shift that energy for a couple of weeks, I do feel you're actually in a safe physical movement. Left or right for feminine or masculine? Pick a side, pick a side. He kept showing up, not lead dreams. Yes, and at the moment, you know, the further into your ascension you get, your smudge sticks crystals will not work. And that's because they're not supposed to. That is because you are supposed to become the crystal yourself. So it's almost like developing your psychic energy and understanding how you can actually allow energy in and allow energy out. Giggle picked it. First in, best dressed, you snooze, you lose. We were saying that last night. I was talking in Discord and I says, hey, anyone awake? Used to come live 1 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning when I was single, right? Twin flame separation. And then from there, and you may get messages either side, so take it where it lands, okay? So if you felt something intuitively, grab the messages from that side, and that is yin to yang. Okay, so it could be for those of you that said left, it could very much be that they are embodying an emotional feeling at the moment, and they are becoming a little bit more gentle, you know, listening to that. Okay, damn straight, they aren't thinking about a karmic. I can tell you that now. Especially for those that have separated from a karmic, they are legitimately not looking at going down that rabbit hole again. We're probably going to have so many metaphors for the rabbit hole. Year of the water rabbit. Yeah, I found myself creating puns inside. Okay, Queen of Earth. They've been busy as heck. I think some of them are actually feeling like they need more time, but they have no time for drama, okay? They're looking for someone. They to date have not had a grounded feminine, okay? In their past, maybe the reason why they are currently relating to you and the fashion they are is because there could be a little bit of PTSD that was exuded from previous relationships. Like I said at the main read here, they've been unpacking that, so I don't think it's staying there. No, they can swim. Come on. In our emotions, yes, if we keep indulging in them, we're allowed to have a little bit of ascension, then we have to say, no, we're coming back out again. We're a little bit of ascension over here. The ascension's there anyway, you know what I mean? But the indulgence of emotions, each time it gets, you know, if it's getting longer and longer, you need to train it to get shorter, which is saying, okay, I'm going to give this 5 minutes and then I'm going to give my heart a break and I'm going to tune into something productive. And so what it will do is so it's not overzealous, over extreme, you know. So I'm seeing, okay, this is what my guides are showing me. When it does come to a karmic path, if they're currently in the karmic relationship, they are not so keen. And they're thinking, oh, I would rather be single for the rest of my life than deal with a fool like that. Does that mean they're not coming back to you? Not at all. It's just they're looking at it and going, do you know, this stinks. If they are projecting towards you or feeling a little bit flighty and slow, it's because they're coming out of this hermit mode energy. Like, is it safe to come out? You know, do I have to go back to that crap again? Morning, Dale. They have felt that they have never been able to move away from you. They've felt that, you know, it's almost like the less you are the chaser, the more they will pursue you. But it's not, and it will be almost like it swaps roles, except you will be showing it's not necessary to do the runner chaser. You will be showing them that you're not going anywhere, but you're not saying it either. So it keeps them tuning into their heart space to say, no, this is something I'm ready to invest in. So it's less needy. If you can do that, it's going to really help you at this point in time. They're definitely not happy in a karmic relationship, okay? I'm getting the 8 energy, which to me, it was 8th house. It's like, look, this has to go. And I think that's because Mercury went direct. So if it's been really dreaduous and maybe they haven't been talking to the karmic, they haven't been saying their piece, they're really sticking up for themselves at this point. They're like, you know what? I'm going to do everything I can to move forward. And they may not even articulate this to you. But I do feel, especially from the previous Twin Flame updates, I've got volume 2 coming out for the members soon. And some of those, what I'm already seeing is there is a transformation, okay? There's definite forward movement coming. So go through and have a look at the members hub if you want to see. January's out or February's out already. Okay, there could be something to do with work. It's almost like now, I feel as though, how do I explain it? If somebody has kind of manipulated them out of having their happiness, this could have been a marriage, and it's like, oh, if I separate, I'm losing everything financially. I feel they've found a way. And I also feel that whatever this is, be it it's a contract, they've got a question mark, but no matter what, you're going with them. So that's their conundrum at this point. They're like, okay, maybe I didn't want that there before with another person or a person I'm currently with. But with you, it's almost like they're looking at it and they're making context of how would that fit in with my divine feminine? How would I actually fit that in so that I can have that life with them? They know that you're okay and you probably don't need them as much as like maybe a karmic does. But they want to give you more. They want, because they feel you've made a lot of sacrifices. Yeah, so they're being critical of themselves. It's like, you know, in the past, they've been like, I've been giving. I'm going to lose. They're looking at the detail. They could be seeking professional advice. This could be to do with tribe and family. They're also looking at the benefits, especially if this is just work-related. They're looking at the benefits and the detriments of this is giving to me or is this taking from me. They're wanting time. They're wanting playtime as well. I feel psychically that it's almost like a loved one on the other side is giving them direct guidance. Anything relating to tribe that was holding them back before, it's not holding them back. So that's not a blockage as per se. I feel it's like a reality check. I know where the problem is. I know where the issue is. I do feel there could also be divine feminine, especially for those of you in communication. You're not really saying anything. And that's making them unpack it regardless because they're sitting with the circumstance, be it it's a family-related dynamic, values and opinions and what their needs are. This could be anything down to, do I travel with my divine feminine? Do I move in with my divine feminine? And they are looking at the long-term situation and how that would actually be. I do feel, I'm especially seeing from the card of Virgo coming through in theirs, and it's in reverse. It's how it's impacting their wellness, their stability, as well as potentially there could be somebody unwell that they're currently dealing with. That can be physically or psychologically. I can't give you medical advice. This is a reading. Got to say that for YouTube. Let's get into what the hell's coming up in your side, eh? So, do I see movement? Yes, I do feel they're unpacking. I do feel both of you are unpacking. Both of you. Look, divine feminine is really feeling, look, I want to get a move on, but you're being safe. Do I feel you're playing it safe? Yes, I do. I think you're protecting yourself. Could you be taking things personal? For some of you, yes, you could be. Due to fatigue, potentially, and the fact that we're having all these planets that were retrograde, we're still in recovery. Oh, God, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so lust, passion, desire. Be cautious, divine feminines. You could have moments where you're just about to give up. I'm telling you, this hair. Are you enjoying this reading? Never again. Never say never. Don't give up. Protect that which you've created. Have the courage and believe in yourself. Nines is, it's like, look, Are you attractive enough? Can you control your energy? Can you believe in yourself? And it's funny because we've got the Taurus energy. Uranus and Taurus is moving direct. So point blank, sorry, you guys are going to be agitated. You know? Because your tension's there. So I would say, as much as I've really been hitting the caffeine, I absolutely love my caffeine. And I have found a coffee plant. And I'm darn straight going to get it because we'll have limitation of coffees. So I'm going to grow mine. Yep. Body image, sex appeal, competition. Am I as good as that person? Do they find me attractive? Some of you, your libido might have gone, Mars and Gemini. It's going to come back. Could that bring heightened anger? Yes, it can, but that's only if your sacral chakra is overactive. Solar plexus, sacral chakra. So if you do find in the next few days to a week, it is happening. I would say the closer to the 22nd, which is technically the Chinese New Year, I would be very cautious, A, of your surroundings, B, of any pacifiers, psychedelics, toxins, because it's going to make you more nervous. You're going to get more psychic attacks. So, yes, you could smudge your house, clear it out, bring new chi energy in, be grounded, drink fluid. You're going to get agitated. I'm just telling you. It's okay. We've only got a few days away and we're having it all moving direct. And it can cause anxiousness. And coming off the Aquarius moon, again, it's very changeable. You could get irritable with people. Okay, yes, in the past, things did not turn out the way you had planned. I can 100% say that. Yeah, we're wrapping it up. So those of you that want super chats, jump on it quick because we've got an hour. There's disappointment here. There's like, look, I put my due diligence in, I put my energy in. I gave love, I gave understanding and empathy and understanding, but you know, a lot of times you might have found that there was a lot of immaturity. But something positive is coming. Some brand new beginning is coming. And I do feel this is really exciting for you. Some of you are going to get your playfulness back. Some of you, it could be some gossip or information that comes to you. It's going to give you a bit of a skip in your step. And it could make you feel a bit like you've got, sounds bad, vengeance. But you didn't have to do it, so it's all good. Karma. There you go. Karma. Like karma being served somehow. Yeah, you're ferociously moving forward. You're like, you know, I know what I want and I'm going to get it. I'm going to pull 3 more. Oh, man. You're like, make a choice. Is that an ultimatum, Divine Feminines? Statement it should be. Oh, I'm intuitively reading these and I'm like, some of you, there's 2 parts here. Some of you, there could be 2 people. I feel it's more on your side than their side, to be perfectly honest. Some of them, you might be getting dreams coming through. That can be from the karmics. It might be from your exes or an individual, right? And sometimes that's actually planted because it's something that divine masculine is tuning into. So it can be an insecurity and a worry, and it could be that you feel you're on the precipice of making a major decision. If it doesn't resonate with you, it can come up in a nightmare. But I'm feeling 2 energies here. As to if that is happening, hi Dawn. Divine Feminine knows she's moving forward, point blank zero. She's like, I know where I'm going. I'm moving forward. I'm trusting my instincts. Yes, there is a choice here, right? There is a choice. But I just get the joint energy. There's something major going to go on in the twin flame connection. And I feel some of you could be intuitively picking up that something's coming and it feels quite large. It's AUD, Dale. I don't know. I actually think what has happened with divine masculines, it's almost like it's developing them. It's getting them to a space where they feel very, they're going to be very open-minded. But some of you are you're wanting some fun. You're wanting somebody who you can directly communicate with, that resonates on the same level. Be very, very careful what you ask universe to give you. I did exactly the same thing, and I met myself in another person, and they were a twin. They weren't my twin, but they were another twin. And it was like, yeah, it kind of doesn't harmonize me. So some of you could be attracting somebody in that feels safer. Believe me, there's no one that's safe. And that's just being purely honest. It's like once you have achieved soul union with yourself, you're not scared of anything. Oh, we do get scared. But it's like you know that there's infinite potential, like the full card and tarot with anybody. And so as long as it is feeling that it's vibing with you, you will be present in that frequency. If it's not, you will feel as though, yeah, PG paid in CA though. Yeah, not AU. So what do I see here? Has somebody come towards you and given you advice in some shape or form? Because you could be listening to people. So it could be a video that you listen to. It could be something that came through to you. I feel listen to your heart. I feel sit there. There could also be a question that some friend might be giving you some moral advice, and it could be coming from the best of places. You could have the utmost of respect for them. It could be another divine masculine where they are, how do I explain it? It's like they do have your best interests at heart. They do care about you, but they also could have a bit of a crush on you. And I do think the advice is sound. But again, remember, we all come from you will never do what doesn't suit you. Like, for instance, you could listen to my reading and I could be saying, don't enable. And until you psychologically come to terms with that, because of your fair-based frequency or past, you may continue to do that because our soul is only going to do what we're ready to do. So we can't necessarily skip steps, but we can actually have some key points of what's going to be successful on the path. Heart chakra activation is going to come up, and I'd say this will be for the next month. More so March, though, okay? But there is also an opportunity that, don't be scared to be honest with your twin. If you've been scared to say something because you don't want to hurt their feelings and it's been something that's been really nagging, you feel free to just open up to them and try to find the best moment, speak from your own kind of point of view, and then detach from what the outcome's going to be. Because I think a lot of times we tend to get into this notion of, how do I put it? That, if we do something, it's going to affect the connection. I actually don't think it's going to. If anything, they retreat back for 2 weeks and then they come back and they unpack it. They've unpacked it. So don't freak out if you need to say something. Let them unpack it because you can only be you. Do you get what I'm saying? Let's have a look at Kerry. Which deck should I use? This one's been calling me all day, so we're going to pick her up. Oh, I feel the same way for 2 weeks. Well, Geminis will. Geminis, their emotions at the moment, there could be rattiness. There could be intuitive energy, psychic downloads. You've got to be careful with psychic attacks, especially because your energy is open, right? And being burnt out means that you can actually, you're more susceptible. Intuitively, I have felt, yeah. Oh, Carrie, hello. Hello. Yep, this person's entering into your dream state. If they haven't yet, they're about to. Okay, this person, oh, God, I don't know what you put out there, girl. I'm hearing the term, the art of appreciation. You know, sometimes we think when we're moving forward, are we on our path? You're always on your bloody path, trust me. You are on the path. You're on a path. You could be going, am I? Am I TF? Don't stress about that. You're on your path, okay? There is this connection. There is... I feel you're going to get some gossip. I feel you're going to hear something about what is going on with this person. Let's see. They're trying to show me a song, probably because Dawn's in the house. Like I said in the video, the masculines only just had their astrology. You know, think back to having a Venus retrograde for a divine feminine. Feel shit. If we had every feminine energy, if we had like moon energy, or say an eclipse in Taurus and a Venus retrograde and a very predominant Venus energy, I mean, we're just going to feel crap. We really are. We're going to be like second guessing ourselves, looking at our body image. I mean, they had a retrograde and they had a placement there that was sitting there since August last year. And they had been in the 12th house and they've only just moved to the first house. So it's a bit like you've gone into a fight, you've been bashed up, and then you're like, now can we walk 20 mile? And they're like, can I patch myself up first? We need to be realistic. It's just gone direct, okay? They've had 2 years of being in the 12th house, which is the house of imprisonment in astrology. You know, psychologically, living in the past, how do I go about this? I am a bad person. Now they're like, okay, what about me? First house, place of power. New chapter, okay. You're going to have a lot of people around you. I do feel 3 people are going to tell you about an old situation. I do feel this is with divine masculine. I don't know. I get this kind of... You're kind of thinking, well, in order for me to get what I want, somebody's going to be unhappy. Don't be tuning into the things you don't want, Kerry, because you will manifest that. I have warned you about that before. Clear your head, drink fluids. Be careful with alcohol moving into Uranus and Taurus direct. I see a lot of positive energy here. I do feel brand new friendship groups coming into your life. Don't second guess yourself. In anything you are doing right now, do not second guess yourself. I feel there's a bit of karma here, but I don't think it's coming on your side, love. I feel it's more somebody is becoming privy to the fact that you move forward, that you're living your life, that you're feeling good. They're picking up on that vibration, and they could be getting gossip through a grapevine, and something's being fed back to you. Karmic is very miserable. I feel karmics. There's disputes between 2 energies here. They don't like each other. Ex versus current. They don't like each other. And you're on cloud 9. You're like, I'm good. I'm good. So could you skip in your step? Yes. Okay. Communication, please. It's almost like you're thinking, should I communicate? This could be because you could be thinking to yourself, are they going to have the guts to come towards me? I think you'll sit on that. I don't think you'll do anything automatically. There could be something that you heard that maybe they do need to know. This could be in the next month. Again, energy is fluid, so you'll understand when it lands. You're becoming braver going into new chapters of your life, but I feel you're growing stronger and more confident in yourself. And the more you can stay grounded, the better off your TF path will be. I do feel there's gossip in relation to the karmic cycle, though. You could hear something that could give you a bit of a kick in this, like, you know, happiness. I think happiness in relation to the fact that maybe something's confirmed for you, that everything isn't bliss and, you know, in Venus town. Who do we have? Yeah, it's like, are you going to feed me? Just say that, John. like I said, look, just say, I'm a lover, not a fighter. You want to go? He'd be like, the cheek of this pretty blonde woman. Who we got? Marie? What's going on? Okay, we've got, first card we've got is marriage in reverse. Depends on the context of what you're thinking. What are you thinking here? Is this to do with them or you? Is it a separation, a divorce, something that you've been through? The crowning energy is marriage in reverse. No, for real. Sometimes that. Yeah, I know. It's like, let me repeat myself. You're hot. No, I'm not. You're hot. And then one day you'll be like, bitch, are you going to give me a compliment? You know. Well, you know then. Oh, look, they can have all the intentions they want. Let me put it this way. If you're a true twin, you planned this crap from the beginning. You're going to go through a chain of events and you're going to end up communicating. Okay, so you never need to worry about that. Intentions, what are your intentions? Because your intentions are their intentions. If yours is, I'm not sure, I don't trust you, would I get married? Do you need marriage? These are the questions we ask ourselves. Excuse me, I'm warm. I'm taking this off. I have a sports bra on. No shade. Got to look hot for YouTube, right? Yeah, I'll get a suit on. We're going to look all pretty. We're going to look all YouTube-y. So, usually you'll go through a set fixation of certain things. It can be if they have a kid, it'll never be. If we're married, it's secure. So ask yourself the question today, what do I believe security would be and safety in this twin flame partnership? And I can guarantee you'll find something in there, Could it be something to do with marriage, children, what, a connection looks like, what union looks like? Union can look very individual for each twin. You physically could be in union and I could be in a different state. Why? Because you're communicating, because you trust each other, because the respect and the rapport's there. Union it's not that religion traditional thing. First wave is definitely not. They could be living with a karmic and they are totally not intimate. You could be communicating with the karmic and friends with them and it is a agreed situation and you could be in union. But as things evolve, you actually have to readdress that because you're always ascending, both of you, right? So there's something in relation to potentially a previous situation you had and kind of comparing it. Their guides are working with them, okay? I don't know why I'm saying a male figure around that person that's transcended over. This could be most recently or previously. You're getting signs and they're saying, we mentioned this in the members last night. I think it was on Quora. I answer a lot of questions. So I'm going to be bringing some new shorts coming to you guys soon. So any questions, common questions you have on your twin flame path, I'm going to turn them into shorts. And then if I find they're really popular, I'll turn them into education content. Okay, a few triggers have come up for you. This might look, I feel it's like you've been getting the signs, right? There's been signs coming through at a foundation level. You know that there's the spiritual connection between the both of you. Could there be insecurities worrying about maybe another karmic cycle? Yeah, I do think there is. You also could, at times, it is possible, feel that you're not your sassy self the way you used to be. It'll pass. It's shadow energy. It's just something that we're passing through. You want to know, you're like, I'm looking at this chick on this card and it literally looks like an egg. And you're going, but it looks like there's a heart inside the egg. And she's like, I planted some seeds. And it could be competition, feeling like you're in competition with other egg energy, feminine. like, how do you feel about me versus this other person? I shared a song into the members in Discord, and it was literally talking to this woman, and it was fun. It was funny to me because at times we do literally feel if there were no karmics on the planet, the twin flame path would be fine. But that's pretty much the same as saying if they get married, it's over. So we're really showing through the whole path of the twin flame path, falsities, point blank zero, and what our actual fears are. So what we think is what we create. And every single time I was petrified about a situation, it bloody happened. And so I was like, you mean I'm manifesting? Yeah, you're manifesting. So as soon as I would have a thought come up in my mind, I'd shift it. And so you actually can move this. This person does have feelings for you. But the funny energy that I'm being shown is there's something in you of an unsurety that is actually press the pause button at this point. I don't think it's on their side. I actually think telepathically it's like they're being fair to you. So while you're unpacking things in your belief system, that you actually are the key to this situation, knowing who you are is when you get it. Do you know what I mean? They already know. You think they don't know. They already know this connection is there. They don't question that. Also, they're making reference to the fact that you have become very used to the 5D and to bring it down to the 3D. I feel good, but DM waking me up every night at 4, even asking me for a phone number. But oh God. Yep. There is times in your day-to-day you have to breathe it out, and that is because they don't. It's a little bit like X-ray vision, right? In the X-ray vision, if they know that you're waiting, they stand still. If then you are addressing things in your life and you're moving forward, you feel this pullback because then the ascension process restarts, which means there's movement in your journey. So if there is something that you have not addressed yet, can be anything to moving a house, doing a job, something, okay? There'll be something major that you haven't addressed right now. Once you start doing it, you'll get movement. But energetically and psychically, I think your psychic development's coming up a bit quicker. I feel as though you're getting signs and synchronicities, but it could be giving you a hint to some movement. I'm hearing ask and you will know. But you do feel an old cycle has to happen before a new one can. And you will know what that means. If there's a karmic, if there's an old cycle, if there's a coming to terms with something spiritually, your side, their side, there is a higher heart chakra healing at this point. If you can actually see, it's funny because 2023 is the number 7 year, right? And she's got, this is a number 7. She's got the heart chakra and the sort of higher heart chakra. That's Virgo energy. I feel you're embracing an element of your divine feminine and Lilith energy, but there's something in you that's ready for a brand new beginning. You're kind of worried that if you move forward, it's going to be over and it's never going to be. I'm telling you, you can't lose your twin. At times you would like to. At personal points, I'm just saying, So how do they feel? There's a connection here. If they are in a karmic relationship, which is a possibility, only from the cards I'm saying, you kind of feel it's on hold till they work that out. But then if that is so, and you know that effectively the person will be coming back to you, what can you do to bring bliss to your life in the meantime if that was so? Something to do with the phone call. Like, it's almost like, are you feeling that you can't contact for some reason? Because they're making reference to you feeling you can't contact. Why can't you contact? You can't even contact when they're in a karmic relationship. It's like, hey, how are you? It's not, I want to take your clothes off. When's it going to go? What's good? You wouldn't go out without a raincoat, would you? No. I'm such a bitch. You get me, just, don't you? 21 notifications. Oh, God. Giggle, is this one yours? But, yeah, something, Marie, I'm saying, so, if you've been perplexed, like, should I communicate? Should I email? Should I connect? It was saying, check in with your ego. So is it to do with who's right, who's wrong? Is it to do with a moral conundrum? They're showing me communication can go. Yeah, you can communicate, but more statement, doll, okay? So statements can be, you know, for instance, I heard something that went down in my twin flame path 4 years ago now, 5 years ago. And I remember, like, we had gone through separation, quite ugly, and I was like, okay, you and ego, if you can't say, look, I'm really sorry for the information that I heard, bloody, bloody, blah, pretty much. So I made the statement. There was no intent or expectation that the person had to message me back. It was purely, you know, that empathize, sorry to hear that, and that was it. That's what I'm getting, okay? I hope that helps. Giggle. Okay. What do you got to lose? Sitting there is disappointment. What's the difference? Live a little. Have some confidence in yourself. I told you, you got your Lilith, and you got your Venus going on, because there's the self-esteem and confidence going on. It's like, then talk in layman's terms of, you know, reference something that you guys have in common. How you doing? How's life? Happy New Year. That's more a question. Hope you're doing well. Happy New Year. Simple. If they want to grab the olive leaf, they're going to. If they feel they can talk and they're in the safe zone, I'll give you a call and go from there and be neutral. Pull the toenail out. What are you going to be disappointed by? You don't like me? Oh, I'm sad for you. You know you're lying. Okay, Giggle. Yours. Whatever. I mean, honestly, I got so used to he doesn't feel the same for you as you do for him. And I'm like, bitch, I know he does. That I even started believing it. I was like, I don't know, I don't care, I know how I feel, and that's about the gist of it. You could be the shadow of my past, and that may be so. I know you're lying. Okay. You're like, is there love here? You know there is, Giggle. Don't make me mess you up. You fool. Okay, you're like, are they single? Are they not? What is going on? There's a lot of chemistry here, but you're like, it's like you're dissecting it. 12th house Libra, you know, the Virgo energy, you're dissecting it. There was passion there. I did good, right? Yeah, no, I did. I really did good. I'm hearing relight my fire. I'll bloody laugh if she went to bed. No, she couldn't have gone to bed. Look, 9:22. Yeah, she's put the next banner up. So you're still here with us, aren't you, Giggle? Have you fallen asleep yet after a late night session? Yeah, gotta be. So let go of emotional upheaval and embrace the renewal of the present. And remember, I said, when you're going to interact with your twin, I know, guys, we've had a lot of history, but the shitty thing is you have to act like it's a brand new relationship. Otherwise, what are we doing? I remember what you did in 1969. And it's like, they're like, I don't even remember what I ate last night. You can't hold people to a cross. So it's about being present. It's about going, okay, let's chivalry, bring chivalry back. Let's go slow. And that's what I think you're doing. I feel you've learned lessons. Both of you have learned a lot of lessons. There's a lot of chemistry here. I'm just saying, okay? So this person is really thinking about it going, this person doesn't love you. This is the whole kit and caboodle of this is too good to be true. Get the hot gigolo. I get the best mate. I get arch enemy who tells me straight. They're quite happy with those things. It's more than love. It's a friendship. It's a connection. Could you be going into dissecting everything? Yes, you could. But deep down, you know, in the heart space, you've learned a lot. You're still underestimating manifestation. But I think it's because, we even stopped doing that in a portion of the journey because we realized we don't want to have anything that isn't meant for us. It's like, if I'm not meant to have that, I ain't having it. If you don't love me, it's not like we can weigh hearts. A lot of us will ask the question like, does my twin love me as much as I love them? You'll never know. Because unless you pulled your heart out and chucked it on a scale like it was a physical judgment day, are we bad people if we had memories of people? Are we bad people if we had a portion of our life that we spent with a certain person, we had a friendship with them or a romantic connection? They're an element of who we are. They probably made us better doing certain things in life. So blessed be for where you were, but also be open to what you have. But there's manifestation. So it could merely be like, I'm not going to manipulate it. I just want it organically to roll out. Ascension's going to calm down for you. Outcome card, marriage, which is, 100%. Outcome card, marriage. Especially based on your zodiac. 2-year portal for you. Have fun with that. Oh, her twin's actually really similar to mine. It's quite sickening. As you're also thinking that they're single, it's confirmed. Yes, they are. Was there great love? No, it's quite ugly. Yeah, quite ugly. They're actually relieved. They're like, oh, I had the extraction. Better keep it on time. I'm talking so much. Stop be thinking about, is there something hidden from me? Because I swear you're going to bloody manifest it. Don't be doing that. That's what it's from reference to. Is there a secret love child? Don't be doing that. Shit. Yeah, paranoia, right? Like, is that what the issue was? It's funny, I was actually thinking that's what I used to tease my twin about this all the time. I have X amount of children. I was like, how do you know? Unfortunately for feminines, we're going to carry the thing, right? So we kind of know. But because, they're a harvest machine, we don't know. It could be. Oh, look, they're different. They're totally different in their demeanor. This week especially, in their aura. It's funny because diving for light, you got the 11 card. It's in reverse. All I was getting in that was more, the person has moved through a process of ascension. They're actually moving quite quickly. They're in their divine masculine energy. If they need to put you in your place, they can do that. Yeah, but we all are. I mean, I shared something very private with you, Giggle, the other day, and I was like, oh, that's embarrassing. I forgive myself. I didn't remember. Honestly, I'll be perfectly honest with you. There's something to do with his job and you that he's at a crossroad with. That is one thing. Yeah. And because of that, he's not going to tell you anything yet. Because he's very committed to this, but he's also thinking, okay, if I go down one path and deal with this in a certain fashion, I see that marriage point, I see that communication point, that connection point, proper reconciliation point. Not that there is a proper reconciliation. I see it maybe delaying and moving out, and it could cause conflict in what an otherwise great relationship could be. So at the moment, he is like in the scale. So if he's not answering, like you said, when he's at work and when he's doing something, he's trying to work out how the analytics is of the whole dynamic. So just let him go at his pace. Let him go at his pace. He's very good at details. Maybe he does have Virgo placements. He's very good at details. Very analytical in mind. But they do think before they speak. Only if you're messing with their flow, they may speak before they think. And that's fatigue. Okay? What I just said. How do we work this out? Oh, God, I can't even open my hands to do the cards. Why am I doing them this way? I got Ross River a few years ago. And so this week, my bones have been hurting me. Dehydration, excess coffee. So we have Dawn. I'm just checking something. Let me check something. Bloody. Interesting. That's okay, Google. Look at me, away with fairies. I just had to double check something I was going to give you guys course on. Anyway, we will continue. He's pissing you off, Dawn. He's really pissing you off. You're gonna have to try and keep it killed. You're like, Lord, take me to church. That's one of my twins' favourite songs, but in a different context. You're like, Jesus, take the wheel, honestly. You're like, you're trying to hold it. You are, whatever. You are trying to hold it. You're like, I'm going to bring you a whoopee cushion. Okay, twin, I'm going to bring you a bloody whoopee cushion. You're like, I am trying to be so patient, so divine. Divine doesn't mean you can't have, a point where you're saying, no, this isn't acceptable. But you're trying to be patient. You're looking at them like, are you bloody joking? I can't look at you sideways. I can't look at you straight ways. I can't say anything. You're dissecting and pulling everything out of context. You feel like look at this. She literally looks like she's been to war. She's like, I'm trying to keep my shit. I'm really trying to keep it. I do think there's going to be a breakthrough. I think there's a portal here. You're pulling all patience. You're pulling all patience here. You're like, if I go near you too much, I might whoopee cushion you. You're like, whatever you got going on over there in Dodge, go deal with it over there. You know that whatever he's dealing with right now must be really shitty because he is projecting like no tomorrow. There's a mountain here, and you're like, I think I might just go find a cave. I might just, get out of Dodge because this person is, you're criticizing yourself. Don't do that. Because this isn't about you. And I've told you this many times. You should know this by now. Okay, so it's not you. You haven't done anything wrong. Your face is fine. Look, you can have the crappiest day and have an opinion and tell that person straight. And could it be something that you have to repeat? Yes, it could be. Yes, we do have to sometimes. No, there's not a price. Okay, you're thinking, God, do I always have to suffer? Am I always going to get the shitty end of the stick? No. I'm hearing the term, how do I soar like an eagle when I'm flying with turkeys? And I'm Turkish. I got part Turkish in me, so I can say that. But it's a metaphor. It's more the metaphor. It's like, I need to gain some perspective. Am I seeing this correctly? Is this ever going to launch? It's almost like that movie, Failure to Launch. It's like, are you ever going to leave home? You're going to, have a real relationship? I think you're trying to take a minute. You're trying to take a minute at this point. there is definitely something in the karmic relationship playing up. So the more aggressive that person's getting, it's if you're busy and really, really busy, what you're going to find is he will start fighting with this karmic. But to date, he's been trying to hold his cool. He's taking it out on you. And you're like, I'm just going to step right back, because if you are MIA, could you imagine him trying to hold that in like a whoopee cushion? At some point, it's going to pop and it's going to go towards the person who it's meant for, not you. It's not your fault. Okay, yeah. Apparently, you're having a happy life. Well, what? If I was grinding my teeth the way that energy was, do you think that's really a happy life? Probably not. There's a change in direction, but my guides are saying you need to change your approach. What do you want to do with that? How does that make you feel? If it's just about you, or just be busy. I'm at work. How was your day? Oh, sorry, my boss is calling. I'm at work. The more that person then has to go back into that witch's cauldron, the more they're going to say, heck, this is hot, I need to address it. And then you're not going to get it taken out on you. Because he's been able to have his outlet through you. And so you need to take that away. If you can take that away, this person's not going to handle living like that forever. If they didn't have you to dump on, damn straight, they wouldn't be able to cope. They'd be ripping each other's hair out. And I'm just saying, this person is not happy, Dawn. You know that. Okay, so you need to be really honest with yourself. You know that person, and this is what we're privy to in a twin flame path, or a connection for that matter. If you know what that person's demeanor was previously, and then you look at their energy now, it doesn't take rocket science to show that is a very unhappy person. So especially this year, it's not going to work. We are going to become selfish, but it's healthy selfish. It's driven. It's what can I do? How can I heal myself? Is it Dawn's fault that I'm having these struggles? Is it my twin's fault that I'm having these struggles? No. What can we unpack? How do we have power in our lives? And the next few months is going to be, especially for people in karmic relationships, very difficult. Very, very difficult. So if you're MIA and you're focusing on your website, your business, your process of what you need to, that is going to help that direction change so much quicker. So if you've had in the last few days an urgency to actually get those things done, it could be because that transition over with that person exiting a connection and you being grounded. I wouldn't even be surprised if you've been looking at another state to live. I just wouldn't be surprised. But your guides will come through to show you what is necessary in that process. New month, new energy. You're predicting and thinking that it's not. Something big's going to happen. Something different is happening. I do think he's going to calm down, but he does have very difficult challenges coming up ahead. But look at it correctly. That's what they're saying. Yeah, and just you've told him now you need to step back and go, well, if it's that great, I'm happy for you. Sit in it. I'm doing me. And let it go, let it go, let it go. Focus, focus, focus. Hi, Lois. I've been missing you, love. Because I do see something coming up in that karmic situation. He's getting very angry inside the karmic relationship. It's not you. It's that situation there. I hope that helps, Dawn. Try to find a nice mountain to meditate on, lady. PBG98. Let's see. So karmic. I was reading your thing. Was it a karmic irritating you, my love? Tough day. Do you have any good news? Thanks, Yildiz. Well, the good news is everything's going to be bloody direct. I am so ready for that. I am tired of being tired. I'm tired of having cross wires. It's part of life, really. You got unity here. That's good. You could be catching up with people. There could be something to do with union energy coming up. You move through New Year's and, Christmas and all of those challenging holidays. They might have been tough for you, but there's something to do with you thinking, okay, number one, is there something to celebrate? Love you too, doll. Is there something to celebrate? I feel that you need to trust your instinct. It's like you're very intuitive. You're very good at this, but I think at the moment it's like you're looking at more it's It's a little bit like blueprints. You're looking at blueprints and you're saying to yourself, you know, does A equal B? Or that's a bad analogy. You're getting what I'm saying. So you do have that logical approach to this situation. It's not you being narcissistic or nasty or anything like that. You're trying to be very rational. You acknowledge the fact that there's things you're not happy with. But you're like, what's going to happen? How do I'm getting this feeling you've been privy to some information. Is this gossip? Is this something that somebody has said? Because I feel it's kind of made you question some things. And you're like, okay, what now? But this feels information-based. Does that make sense? What have you been told? Is there been like a photo you come through or some information? It just feels they're making reference to a context of something. Does that make sense? So that for you, and it's really funny, ultimately, I still see the star card as the outcome and unity. So whatever it is, they're saying do not stress. They're saying you're still going to get a good outcome, but there could be a bit of a question mark over it where you're saying, well, how the hell does that go? Do you know what I mean? That I have to move again and I just got here. Oh, heck. I know it sucks. Don't tell me you're an Aquarian. Are you an Aquarian, love? Well, things are going to go okay. You know what I mean? What zodiac are you? You got luck. You're like, this is crap. This sucks. What zodiac are you? Because Aquarians, if you guys want to move, you better get it done now. Especially if it's long distance. You may be stuck for 2 years. So there's some portals that'll be open, but there's other portals that's like, yeah, you're not going to be able to. So if you want to go somewhere, go somewhere. 3rd of October. Libra. You can protect your house. You can actually do a protection energy. Look with the connection, the joint connection, very positive. If you are going somewhere, it could directly be. So I'm bumping. Well, it could be in the next week. Uranus and Taurus transits direct. This also could be further into the year, but look, I'm seeing potentially staying with some friends. That's what they're showing me. There's a possibility of like catching up with people you knew, but I feel it's connection. It's like, it could be a family member, could be a friend. I think this has been affecting other areas of your life as well. So it's like you feel very serious about this year. You're like, I want to have some structure and stability. The good thing is, Dal, like, you know, Capricorn has been transiting Libra's house, home zone, for 20 years. So anything to do with family, breakups, divorces, moving home, what needed to leave, it was very troublesome. Issues with siblings, issues with mother energy, you know, it's doing its cycle where it's transitioning into Aquarius. So some of that pressure and those connections can become more calm, okay? You may not leave as much. You may be able to secure yourself a physical home to live in, and that could be a goal that you have this year. So the nonsense and crap you've been through, it has happened to every Libra. The luck is coming into your life. So those hard yards, it is hard because what we do need to be careful of is when we do have Pluto dipping into Aquarius, it can feel like the structure's crumbling because it's getting to the critical degree point. So if you've just been like, am I ever going to have a home? Am I ever going to have a family? It could be a baby, you know, a place I can call my own, not my mum's, not my dad's, not my siblings, not for, you know, where's mine? Where's my signature on the planet? Home-based businesses as well, which was very difficult. You know, I'm a Libra. I've got that energy there myself. So it's it's almost like you feel this huge thing of leveling up. It's like, right, what do I need to do? What do I need to do? Look, it's usually if the transit's there, it's positive. Okay, you have to trust the process. When Mercury's shadow direct, Uranus and Taurus is direct, I don't see that as bad. I don't see it as bad. If you have to, you have to. There's windows all the way from here until March. Okay. Best day, check the moon cycles. And you can also see when Capricorn, the moon is transiting through Capricorn, and that can be a key date. Okay. A place far away. It could be further away. That is because we have ninth house. So, yes, it can be further. I'll have to move on to the next one, my love. Research clue. What you doing? Oh. How you doing, research clue? I always love it when I pull the first card and I'm like, oh. Oh. I left my protein shake. That'd be right. Okay, have you felt like go-go gadget legs, or are you just losing your shit? You got patience in reverse. You're like, I'm tired. I am tired. I'm exhausted. Don't want to do this anymore. One of my twin sayings, which I implemented, I don't want to do it, mummy. Yeah, it's like, you know, when you got the inner child, you're like, I'm bloody tired, really. I just can't. Yeah, it's almost like, you know, it's almost like we're crying for our souls. So you're looking back at your path and you're saying, gee, I've been through a lot. I've really been through a lot. There's been trials, tribulations. There's been like risk. 2023 is different. I just have to say that. I can't emphasize that enough. It is very different to what we have had in the last 4 years. It's a preparation time. I'll give predictions during the month to give you guys an update. But so the inner child crap is going to the past, but now it's like there could be this vengefulness, right? There could be this vengefulness of going, look, you messed me up, I want to mess you up. And that's Lilith. But it also could be because you're chronically fatigued, you're really tired, you've been feeling down in the dumps. You might need to balance your sacral chakra and solar plexus. So you can, and that's particularly, I'm not surprised. Mars has just gone direct. So what can happen is, especially if you don't eat meat or we can add the yellow and the red food groups. So the bottom 3 chakras need recharging. So you'll know inner child will be obviously the shadow work, but it also can be you feel sluggish, you're overindulging, you're overeating. It's a sluggish chakra. So if you notice your body changes, it's either underactive or overactive. When it's overactive, you know, it's strict, it's overindulgent, it can be huge cravings. You've got to balance those lower ones so that your energy is ready for your next cycle of the twin flame path. Oh, isn't it great? That's ascension, love. Just be transparent. If you're in communication, you say what you need to say. We're not here to make the world a perfect place. We can't. It's not real. If you need to be transparent with the individual, you just got to cut to the chase. Okay? You want to see the happy story, but you feel you're doing an eat, pray, repeat. You're ready for the next chapter. But the thing is, it's almost like you're guilting yourself into believing this is the status quo, and it's actually not. It's causing anxiousness. It's like, well, okay, well, if I move forward, is that going to cause issues? I wonder if I say something, you know. So I actually feel from this reading, you have some things you need to talk about. Now, could it be that you need to write it down? Yes, I do think so. And then I think you're going to have clarity. You're going to have clarity of where you stand. You know? Does that ring a bell? Yeah, there's definitely a conversation here. It's like it's already in there. It's already ready to go into the ethers. Are you physically in communication with your twin? Because the way it's coming through, it shows it is. I think. Or there's a conversation coming. Crying and then upset. So I'll wait for you to respond and then I'll move on to Warrior Woman. But what I'm saying is a potential conversation. Now, it could be, I have stuff to say for sure, but I'm not sure. Look, it could be, if it's in relation to the past, I said it during the video. There's no reason, and look, they could be in a karmic relationship. It could be whatever. You're unpacking your own life, own that part, right? Then you have the part inside your own connection. Sometimes it merely can be, as we're unpacking, we are healing because of a previous relationship. And so even if they were there, they probably couldn't make it better anyway. And there's the isolation and loneliness. And especially when we're having breaks prior to going to work, it's like we've got a bit too much time to think. And we probably did need it to unpack. But there's nothing stopping you from communicating to that person a disappointment, a perspective you had, and it not being, I did many moons ago. There was a person that was very, very keen on me. And, 15 years have went by, and yes, they married and they moved forward. And I felt for spiritual closure for that person and for me, that for me to be able to move forward, I needed to articulate it. Now, be it they received it or they didn't, it didn't matter, because I felt I got it off my chest. And from there, I was able to move forward. And I was either, you can even say, look, I mean no harm to you in this direct situation. I'm merely speaking from my personal perspective. But you can contact. You can find a way. If it's divinely guided, you'll find a way. Okay? But there's definitely an unsettledness towards the fact that you haven't been able to articulate what you need to say. So a good step would be writing it down and burning it and doing a releasing ceremony. Balance your lower chakras. I do feel your energy. It can pick up in the next week, right? The only thing is we're getting ready for Uranus and Taurus to go direct. So be careful of pacifiers, alcohol, caffeine excess, because, again, it's going to cause nervousness and agitation. Make sure you rest where you need to, and come February, you'll feel different, okay? But definitely a potential for communication there. Warrior Woman. Okay, this is not you. This is somebody else. Is this your twin? Is this your love interest? Who is this energy? Who's sitting in your chair? Are you with this person? I don't know, somebody in your look. We'll wait till you get in the house. Yippee. Okay, now, are you with this person? They're showing, look, I'm trying to unpack what they're trying to tell me. Because I'm not feeling, your energy is really positive. I'm just going to be perfectly, frank with you. That's okay, Research Kelly. I'm feeling you're pretty confident. You don't have a love interest. Well, so you mean you're embodying the divine masculine energy because you're goal-orientated then. Look, I feel you're coming through like a fierce warrior, okay? I feel that you are... Twin is the only one in the picture, but we are in separation. Okay, well, that's what I was meaning, okay? I don't presume everyone that jumps in the chat is a twin. I get what my guides show me. I don't presume. I channel what you're asking me to channel or whatever they're showing me. But in the context of this, it's almost like you're very detached, right? So I'm feeling you to be pretty grounded. I'm feeling you to be very goal-orientated. And you're like, look, maybe they don't love me. I don't know. But it's really their energy coming through, funny enough, in your reading. That they're thinking, it's almost like the one that got away. Maybe they don't want me. So there's a swapping of roles here. You're kind of like, I'm just rolling with the punches. I'm just going with the flow. And your energy is higher this week. Okay? I'm just saying, it really is. Okay, anyone mess with you? I don't know. Do you have some sense of a project? You know? Because whatever this is, you won't let anyone mess with you. Your guides are making mention that whatever you're investing in, they're not going to mess with you. I feel you're quite protected. This can be some goals or aspirations you're moving towards. It feels like you're protected, but you're not going to take rubbish from anyone. Okay. So if there's somebody that's trying to cross you, this could be a karmic, this could be a business partner, work colleague. Do I think there's jealousy around you? I do, but you are so on point with it. They can't get it past your nostrils, okay? So this is something, if it is so, you're fully aware, right? Yeah, okay? You've got some great ideas coming through. You're recreating things, you're moving things around, you're investing in a different way. There is, I don't know whether it's somebody that comes to you for service that works with you. There is a jealous person around you. You know this, okay? So if this is a direct person, you know who this person is. This could even be a client. It could be a problem, a client, sibling. That whoever this person is, they're still saying you're going to know who it is. Well, lots of little projects around, really. Yeah. Okay, so you're going to be tweaking things. Unfortunately, until the end of this month, we're going to have way too many ideas. So you've got to really anchor them in and pull them in, because Saturn's going to mean it takes time to get these things done. And so if we spread ourselves too thin and be too over-optimistic with Jupiter and Aries, it'll be like, I can do that. And then you're like, oh, shit, how do I do that? How do I manage that? So, okay. You're going to be very clear about what your wishes are. Your person's thinking about you. They're wanting to seek you out. It's almost, I'm hearing the term, the one that got away. I don't know. It's almost like, because you're having this revelation, I need to invest in things. I need to, yeah, it's definitely a feminine. I'm just saying it's a feminine, right? Attractive, just moody, very moody. Yeah. You're very goal-orientated, doll. So whatever that is with DM, it's like they want to be like Mike. So it's because you're investing in yourself and you're moving forward. They're like, the divine feminine's not the way they used to be years ago. Like, it used to be me, 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 me. Now it's like, no, I've got this thing and I've got to go here and I've got to do that. And that can be coming through in the 5D or the 3D. This is challenging them to be in that same light. They're not, okay. I love it when my guides come through in a funny way. Okay, now you might find this yourself. Your guides can be a little bit sarcastic now and then. It could be because you have a bit of comedy to you. It's like you're saying you're not going to take that shit. It's you're not drinking the poison from the cup. Do you know what I mean? You're doing things differently. This could be a detox you're actually going through too. Big changes is, yeah. It's like you're not. I'll show you. This is almost like the absinthe drinker. You know, I'm delusional. I can't see things. This is in reverse. You're like, I see you. You know, karmic energy. All right. This is not you. This is that person I was talking about. Wish in reverse. I was like, you're not worried because this isn't about you. It's almost like there are people around you that are projecting that shit onto you. Can be coming through the ethers from your twin. You're very self-focused. It's almost like you've got a bubble around you protecting you. And it's like you know what to eradicate and what to keep. And it's like you're very goal-orientated at this point in time. And that's what's taking you and protecting you and moving you forward. You're willing to put the effort in with anything, providing, because you know you will reap your harvest. You know you will get the advantage, the added advantage. It's a big dream. It's big things coming. And yes, I do feel this relates to your path as well. People feel you're going. People feel that you're ascending too quickly. And so now it's triggering their shadow. It's making them feel, well, what about me? What does that mean for me? Well, what does that mean for you? Have you got a car? Have you got a house? Have you got your own money? Like, what do you mean? What about you? Because it's like they're projecting to you. So that projection is showing them their shadow of what they're insecure about and what they're worried about, what they haven't addressed. So try to not, I don't think you're going to take it personal. I really don't. But it's forcing others around you to actually address those things. You're on it. I don't have a worry in the world for you, but the only thing I would say is you're going to pick up a lot of energy in the next 2 weeks. So I would say probably protect your third eye, agree and disagree to what you do and don't let in, because you could start getting a lot of headaches. And that's because it's not so much the psychic attacks are there. It's almost like when you open the filter, it's just going to keep coming in. And it's going to affect your aura, and then you can get a little bit unwell. So even though it's great, at times you have to switch off and go, I'm closing that channel so that I'm not susceptible to that vibration and I can recover. That's one thing I would say to you. Okay. So, yeah, overall, we can see the karmic person. They're growing. Either young or immature. They don't know. They don't know why they do what they do. They are very impressed by you. They're in awe of you. Have a beautiful week. Now, new things that I am adding to YouTube. I will put a comment up in the community tab at some point, because a lot of you, I did initially have updates for the lives and all our videos on Discord. Now, I did add it also to the website so that you could get notifications. Another thing I'm considering doing, because only 10% of subscribers get the notifications and we can only have 3 notifications in 24 hours, that I may open a Yildiz Readings server where I can give you notifications to the public. Okay, so if that's something you'd be interested in, we can do it there. And I'm also going to be giving you guys heads up when we have new star signs. We have 2 a month now, and they will be out in the members very soon. They're going to be the channeled energy. And very separately, we do have weekly content for the Twin Flame Path. That's the live every Friday. We do element reads in the top level of the memberships for masculine and feminine, and we go into a Q&A session, and at times I do jump in and do lives with the members. And we have Discord at the top level that gives everyone an opportunity to communicate with each other. So when the lives are dropping, I may put some tabs up. I'm putting links up for you guys if you decide that you want to come into the members. One real great time to be in the members would be March, and that's because we're going through major transitions, and I'll be adding extra support to those in Discord. You know, if they're going through triggers, we can actually communicate with them. I'll try and do that also on YouTube. The problem is, as I mentioned, we're allowed 3 notifications in 24 hours. So that kind of hinders that ability for us to do that. And it's not that we don't want to communicate with you guys, it's that you can only put 3 posts, 3 videos up a day. So ways around it I have found is by turning all those bells off and only turning 3 bells on, but I then can't post the next day. Shorts, I will be adding a live monthly, upon which after, and I'm trying to gauge how to do it, because I do want to do an energy update. So the energy updates, what I may do is an energy update pre-recorded, and then I come live after for a super chat, an additional super chat during the month, or I can just go live, do my channel messages, and you can ask directly after. The only thing is these videos do become quite long, and people are looking at it going, that's a long video. And it's like, yeah, because we're doing super chats after, you know. What was the other information? So I'm going to put questionnaires up on the main page. Anything you want a question confirmed on, this can be on psychic attacks, twin flame path, ascension, any question that is a burning question you want, I will make a short. I will share it to YouTube, and it'll be a brief kind of answer, question, answer, and it's going to be like a short, like a TikTok, and we'll share it to the shorts. And if it's something that everyone is talking about, communicating, going, this is really interesting, can we dive deeper? I'll make education based on it. Okay. Any questions? Jump in and grab a reading when you can, because it's really filling up. Already February has started filling up, so FYI on that one. Your star signs also, I do have mini reads via the website. All right, I'll try and get all the updates and I'll put them into an article and I'll place them in a one-off post. I'll give you all the updates as to what's happening. Otherwise, follow the website, because I do update you of all the changes. I've got a post section there for that. Take care. We're going to roll out and I'll see you soon.